Where's my picture? Where's my goddamn dead baby? I told you before, Libby, do not fuck with my stuff.
And I told you before, Deez, don't fuck with me. Morrison cut your goddamn dead baby. You got a problem with that hotshot? Take it up with him.
Morning, Richard.
Do you know what I had to do with that morgue attendant to get that picture? Do you have any idea how cold those slabs are?
Did you tell your daughter dad jokes?
Why is 6 afraid of 7?
No, I like if a kid complains they're cold, tell them to go stand in the corner. It's 90 degrees.
No, I've never told her that one. I don't know if she'd get
Didn't
that
you
one.
say that, like,
Total dad joke.
when you first said that joke, she was like, why was 7 afraid of 8? Because 8, 9, 10
Because 8,
or
9,
something?
10, yeah. Yeah, she didn't get it at first, so she was just going the next numbers in sequence. She's getting better, though.
We always
Garrett will straight out lie to me and then be like, I like to kid you, Dad.
Oh, man, that's not good.
You're like, I'm going to have trouble with you later.
Hello! Welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast. I'm 16 minutes in. God damn, this is
That's
going to
your
be a
new
rough
name?
one.
16 minutes in?
Yeah, I'm 16 inches deep. I'm John.
I'm Ben.
Cobra.
Tonight we're going to be doing the Night Flier.
Tonight?
Tonight!
Tonight.
So,
fucking
reconvene in 12 hours.
10:20 a.m. tonight.
Well, we're doing this in the day because we're scared the vampire will come get
The
us.
Night Flier
Okay.
might get it. It's on
Right.
its little plane.
Okay, this is the Night Flier. It's a Stephen King book that I'd never heard of.
It's a
movie that I'd
short
never
story,
heard
not a
of.
book. Get it right.
We
There's
literally
crazy.
just had.
We just had an interview with the
Second assistant director.
Craig Edwards, and he told us about some of the stuff. So that'll be. You want to tack it on at the end? You think?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll tack it on at the end. You get a little extra this week.
But just,
So.
there are crazy people out there who will scream at you if you don't know the difference between a short story, a novella, and a novel.
What's this?
This is a short story.
Okay.
It's only about 30 pages, I think, somewhere in the pages.
Is a novella a novel?
No, a novella is probably about 130 pages.
It's like a half novel.
100 to 100, yeah, it's like a half novel.
I write novellas all the time.
This story showed up
Wow.
in...
And I have a manifesto.
This story showed up in
You're
Stephen
involved
King's...
something, aren't you?
No! It's a good manifesto.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
This story showed up in Stephen King's short story compilation, Nightmares and Dreamscape.
Oh, it did?
Yes.
Okay.
No, a novel.
Wait, go over those again. I'm a little
yes.
confused.
Novella and novel are the same. No. What'd I say?
You said they were half novels, and now you're saying
Yeah.
it's full novels.
Novella is shorter novel.
All right.
Dreamcatcher is a novel. And a crappy movie.
So this movie
Morgan
has
Freeman, though.
Richard
Yes.
Richard Dees is played by Miguel
Dickie D's.
Ferrer.
D's
For-
nuts.
Miguel Ferrar.
Ferrar, okay. I know him from RoboCop.
RoboCop, that's where I know him
Fuck
from.
yeah.
I know him as Albert Rosenfeld in Twin Peaks. I love Twin Peaks, and Miguel Ferrar's character in Twin Peaks is fantastic, and we get a little bit of that.
Does he have hair?
in the movie?
Yeah.
Or in Twin Peaks? No.
Has
He's
he ever
like
had
this.
hair?
We didn't have it in
I don't know.
RoboCop, and that was.
Did he have it in the
87.
stand? He didn't have it
yeah.
in the stand.
Who was he in the stand?
What's his face? Randall Flagg's little sidekick.
Little Flag.
Yeah, little Flag. But
Pee-wee Flag.
yeah, we get the
Speaking
kind
of Pee-wee.
Pee-wee Herman.
No, Pee-wee from Porky's.
Oh yeah,
It's the exact.
he's the editor of what's this magazine called? It's a tabloid.
Inside View.
Inside View. It's a tabloid magazine.
This reminded me a little of Videodrome too, just like with the whole tabloid world takes over reality.
This is definitely a product of its time because
It's
some
very
of the
90s.
stuff. First of all, newspapers now are nothing like this at
Well,
all.
everything's digital now.
Yeah.
This was
But-
like a Weekly World News
But
National
that's-
Enquirer
That's
mix.
exactly what I got.
stuff.
Was Weekly World News
Okay.
because of the weirdness that they're always talking about Bigfoot people or alien sightings and that's Total World Weekly News.
A lot of the
Right.
articles
sounds
on the
bad boy.
papers that he had his front page picture on were excerpts from stories of Stephen King.
I saw one,
There were a few, but I don't remember them.
because I'm going to call your bluff, because we went back and we looked.
IMDb it, because I'm not going to fucking do it.
Um,
It's there.
Thinner, I saw Thinner for sure,
Mhm.
but that's the only one I could recall. Now, they might have been newer no, they couldn't have been newer stories, because that would have been way foreshadowing in stories he didn't even write yet.
Keep going, Ben, while I look this
I
up.
want to know what stories,
Well-
because I looked for them. I could find Thinner, because it was like Gypsy Man puts a curse on a guy and he's skinny.
So that it opens at a small airport at night, and an air traffic controller guy. You can tell this is It actually reminded me of the airport we have around here.
At Grove City, like
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
just
tiny,
this very tiny
airport.
You know, maybe a private jet, but mainly little propeller Cessna planes are flying into there.
That's what I told Robin. Why is there a Grove City airport? It's got to be for drugs. Why else would there be a Grove City airport?
Yeah, they bring that up. But this air traffic controller, this airplane won't move off the runway.
Spring Hill Jack strikes again. Headless Lamaze leads
That's
to success
that's
of
one of the
Bird.
short stories about Spring
Yeah,
Hill Jack.
they're short stories that we've never heard of. The only one that I know
Maybe
is
you should
Sting.
read more King.
No, it's not about reading. Needful Things, that's a movie, so that counts. Lawnmower Man.
What?
Naked Demon Flow.
You're saying these are stories ripped from Stephen King,
Oh yeah.
but it's not about reading.
You should.
You make no
Do you need
sense.
to feel them, or?
Let me touch them. No, I was reading. Shut up. You fucking do. I'm gonna punch you both.
So this air traffic controller, he goes out onto the runway to try to figure out what's going on with this plane. This plane's pretty cool looking. It's painted black. The windows all blacked out too.
He has curtains. I know
Just
that.
reminded me of another vampire movie I like, Near Dark.
Fucking
Can you make a
man.
fart noise
Yeah.
after he says that?
So
Near Dark isn't even like Fright Night's way better. The Lost Boys way better.
so this
From
This-
Dusk Till Dawn's way better. John Carpenter's Vampire's better.
The remake of Fright Night is better.
Oh, that was rude.
so this air traffic controller, he gets pretty fucked up, and the effects look pretty good.
Yeah,
The effects start hot in this movie.
Yeah,
I like
and
it.
it immediately catches my attention.
and it's K and B, right?
Yeah, because the Night Flier kind of resembled characters I thought from Dusk Till Dawn a little bit, like their head for the shape of everything and like the cloak he was wearing.
Do we get a good shot of the vampire yet? The face? I thought that. we
Not
really-
yet,
till the
not
very,
till
very
the
end,
very
yeah.
end.
Which, but he's wearing full on.
I have to do this because Ben crinkled up my pages.
So we cut to the newsroom of Inside View, and wow, Miguel Ferrer,
Where's my dead baby?
don't you fuck with my shit again. Like, he is like over the top angry.
He
But I like it.
is mad.
That woman's giving it right fucking back. It's awesome. It's an awesome back and forth.
So we're introduced to,
Merton Morrison
well,
and Catherine Blair.
All right, studs. Everyone got their ID? Yeah, right here. Mount.
Right, hands double, huh?
Oh, look at this one. I left my ID at home.
You jerk. Every time we go someplace, you find some way to mess it up.
Well, that's okay, Pee-wee. In your case, I take your word for it.
is he the one that puts his dick through the wall of the what's-her-face grabs?
Anita, a ball breaker. Yeah.
Oh god, those movies. So Dees is the veteran grizzled reporter who's just pissed at everything, and we get the new reporter, Catherine. She's the new hire, and it's hinted or I guess we're just told that she's replacing somebody who killed herself.
Dottie.
Dottie.
Mm-hmm.
Dees has no interest in the vampire pilot story.
He pokes a lot of holes in it.
Dwight Renfield.
I feel
And
like
they think it's funny because it's Renfield is
from
Dracula. Yeah, Bram
Dwight. I
Stoker's.
like they threw Dwight. But he doesn't want the story. What, Catherine gets put on the story, maybe? Who she's a lookalike of Phoebe Cates, right?
That's what I thought. Yep.
Yep,
Spitting
and
image.
I
She
want to
hasn't
say
been in,
this:
like, anything
they
at all.
they
Not many of these people
portray
have been.
small town people as hicks
Well,
and
that's what-
hillbillies
They even
in this
say
movie.
hicks.
He says,
Yeah, you're good with the hicks.
you're
you go,
good with the hicks.
Yeah, like small town people in this movie are referred to as hillbilly and hicks the whole way through.
But he storms out. He goes to the local bar, and Catherine thinks she's gonna show up, and
And she calls him. He
Smoothing.
calls her Jimmy.
he calls her Jimmy, as in Jimmy Olsen, the Superman character. Post Harvey Weinstein, how much verbal abuse to a woman and physical abuse is going on? He grabs her arm.
Yeah, she's just trying to leave, and he's like, oh no.
Yeah, like, and he basically tells her, is this where he tells about Dottie?
Mm-hmm.
And basically says,
You only got the job.
you're telling her she's not strong enough to handle this job.
Never
In the
believe
long
what
run.
you publish, and never publish what you
believe.
believe.
And in 6 months, she'll be gone because she can't handle it.
That's when I start calling him D's nuts, because he just doesn't give a fuck, and he's dropping F-bombs every minute. He calling people bitches.
Oh, we get the when he's telling about Dottie, and she basically snapped. But we cut to Dottie's bathroom where she is laying in a tub,
And he takes a picture of her.
and she wrapped her head in a dry cleaning bag.
Yeah, he's like, it was a great story or
and,
something.
yeah, we see him sneak in, take a picture of her, walk out. Is Catherine's gonna be on the story, right? Or is nobody taking up the Night Flier story yet?
Nobody takes it up, so he gives it to Catherine, or offers it to her.
The editor.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Merton Morrison.
I just have his Pee-wee.
So then we cut to another airfield where this creepy old lady is glamored, I guess, by the vampire.
Yeah, she's
That's what
like
I got.
trying to give herself to him in a weird kind of...
Well, he's the Night Flier is killing her husband.
She's just sitting outside with a big smile on her face.
You know what I thought was kind of cool but weird, and I didn't understand it? It seemed as though like the Night Flier would show up the night before he killed them and like put him in a trance or something.
He kind of hangs out in town for a bit.
He
Or I
does
assume at
something,
the
and
airport,
then like they meet him the night before they get murdered. So I don't know what he does to them. Maybe he shows them a good time. I don't know.
He's suave.
I'm sure, like, he probably makes, like, for instance, he makes the old woman feel young again. He's probably just...
This
putting
Night
him in a
Flyer
trance, yeah.
reminds me of, like, the Phantom of the Opera of vampires. He's suave. He's charismatic.
Phantom of the Opera's not suave.
Yeah, that guy is.
He's down in the basement away from everybody.
He's
slamming on the organ.
He's so
cool,
though.
You mean 1930s Dracula.
Well,
oh, yeah, there you go.
Like the suave Dracula, not
Well, sure.
Nosferatu. Even though he is Nosferatu, but like he's hideous, he's gross, he's
who?
The Night Flyer.
Oh yeah, he is.
He's not though.
Yeah, he's more,
When he's real.
He's more monster looking than human looking.
But who can see him? Have we established who can see him?
Everybody can see him.
Assume whoever he wants to see.
Yeah.
Him. If
Everyone
he wants you to
sees
see him, you're gonna see him.
Yeah.
He's manipulating this old couple, and then kills the husband. He kills both of them, right?
Eventually he kills her, but he
Okay.
uses him to, I guess,
He's-
drive her around and
I think he's
shit.
just boning her.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Old man's bloody wife doesn't care.
No, she doesn't.
She dies in her bed like the next day, I think.
What's her name? I have Jimmy finds the story of that night's kill.
Yeah. Her and that computer of hers.
Yeah, I love 90s internet talk.
God.
It's just
But this was 97. It's so much later
They
on.
do it again later,
no,
too,
this
in the
is
movie.
yeah, but this is just when people were getting on the internet.
I know, we had like computer talk and Shockman, that was like 90.
This is what it's like at the
90.
place we work, where people are like, them damn computer boxes.
Boxes.
Yeah.
Are you making fun of me?
No,
Because
I'm
I
not
feel
making
like
fun of you.
I can barely check my email, and you're
Well,
making
that
fun
is
of me.
true. That one day when they were like, check your email, we opened it. It was like 2 years worth of email.
That's not good, people. What
Where
kind
is
of
it?
reporter is Dee's that he has his own private plane?
I
He
think
should be
that's
the
just-
best reporter.
I don't think it's for that specific purpose. I think he just happens
He
to
just
have
does it on the side.
And he said, put that plane of yours to use.
Does he take the story?
He wants
yeah,
it, yeah.
The editor convinces him that this is going to be a good thing. We get the trope of, yeah, you used to be great, but you haven't produced anything good for a while.
That's
You
right.
want your picture back on the front page. You better take this story.
So Pee-wee does give the story to him, and then Catherine's like, I had my plane ticket
she's,
in a slow-mo rip-up
That doesn't make any sense.
of a plane ticket and throws it in the air, and it's like a slow-mo.
And they're watching it as
Yeah.
It's like, woo!
I was like, is that going to fade into like another scene? But no, it's just there, and then it goes on from there.
So
It's weird.
Dees decides to go to where the first murder took place in Maine, and we get
Fred Gwynn.
a poor man's Fred Gwynn.
Yep.
He's
For
no
sure.
he's no Fred Gwynn, but it's a decent Maine accent.
He's fine, yeah.
It says that this guy flew in from Derry. So
Good
there's
reference,
that.
good reference.
Beep, Richie.
He also has the line, I assume this is right out of the book because this is a total Stephen King line. Mentions something about black as a woodchuck's asshole.
Oh, that's Stephen King, all right.
That's total.
What does that mean?
I don't even know.
Does that mean he's
I
had
think
the
he's talking about
diarrhea for a
how he was
while?
talking about how dark it was that night, right? Black as a wood night or
Black's a wood knight's
woodchuck's asshole. I don't know.
I've never seen a woodchuck's asshole.
No.
People in Maine must see it all the time, I guess.
So
They probably eat woodchuck asshole there.
Maine listeners, write in, let us know. Do you eat woodchuck
Lobster
asshole?
and woodchuck asshole.
So this airplane mechanic is telling the story of the very first kill we saw in the movie. The guy's name is Claire, but he seemed glamored.
He's washing the guy's plane for him.
Yeah.
He was taking. So, is it,
What?
No, I think he just.
I don't think
finds
he's
it.
fucking anybody. I think he's eating them.
Yeah, he is. And
He's just eating them.
yes.
He drains them of blood. You mean? He doesn't eat.
Same
them.
difference.
It's not the same difference.
so
It's taking someone's blood out of their body and eating them are two different things. One's a cannibal and one's a bloodsucker.
Right. Alright, fine. He's eating their blood.
is this where we see the
He's not
first?
eating, drinking it. Blood's a liquid.
God damn it.
This is
Stop
where we...
being
Oh my
stupid.
god! Shut the fuck up.
Every time I look at him with those glasses and I want to sing that song Buddy Holly by Weezer.
No. Actually, that is where I thought those glasses looked good on the guy from Weezer.
Rivers Cuomo.
Yeah.
I thought you were
And then
Rivers Cuomo.
I was like, I want those glasses. And now here I am.
I'm
get
gonna
Drew-
bust his
I
bottle
still
over
see
your head.
Drew Carey when I look at him.
I have a
Yeah.
Drew Carey plug next show.
Oh, man.
Is this where we get our first shot of? I thought it was vampire poop.
Pile of dirt and maggots.
Pile
Yep.
of dirt full of worms and maggots.
But
This is explained
after
to
an
us what it
interview,
is.
we
Yeah.
found out that he likes to sleep on the grave.
He has
He
to
brings his
sleep
own dirt.
on the dirt that he was buried in.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I guess some just gets left behind.
Vampire lore, huh? You guys didn't read up on your vampire lore before this?
So
There's nothing that you can't kill a vampire with. That's what I know about vampires.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
Running water. Garlic,
you can
crosses.
kill with running water.
steaks, running water, the sun,
What kind of running water?
tap water.
You can't kill with
With
running
what
water.
we use?
I don't remember which one of the Draculas it was, but it was one
Oh,
of
that
the
was one
hammer
of the
ones.
hammer ones.
Yep.
I think that was
He
the.
dies in like 10
that-
different ways.
That's the first Dracula hammer movie, I believe.
Was it the first one
I
they got
think
him
it's
with
the first
water?
one.
Okay.
Dee's
Nuts.
goes to the cemetery to see Claire's grave. He really just wants some photos.
Okay, I forgot to
For
ask
a
that guy
story.
a question about this. Was this guy clairvoyant? Because he literally cuts his hand, puts it on a tombstone,
Yeah,
and
that's-
sees flashes in his head.
That was a little.
What was going on here?
Wasn't sure about that with the whole
I didn't
connection.
understand that. No.
But
Call that guy back up. Let's
he'd probably answer. So Dee's like kicks the tombstone, like he wants to make this look not scary enough, he says.
Yeah.
And so he's going to scary up.
Steals the dead flowers from the one next and puts them, switches them out. Yeah.
I was like, this is aggressive, buddy.
Yeah,
it's
what's
not
he doing?
necessary.
And suddenly, this long-haired blonde guy shows up.
What are you doing?
Now I got a question. Sure, it's weird that a guy would be in the cemetery digging up stuff, but there's another one. There's two of them in the cemetery.
Also,
this guy's the cemetery watcher.
So he just sits around and looks out the door and, oh, there's somebody.
Yeah.
from my experiences with watching movies, don't ever make fun of the locals.
No, that's a terrible idea.
Question. Do you think Arlington Cemetery is guarded?
Yes.
Probably.
Okay.
That would make more sense.
So there might be even...
Cumberland Cemetery, though?
Maybe. How big is Cumberland Cemetery? I don't know.
It's
I
small
picture
town.
about the size of Harrisville Cemetery.
Yeah.
Some people have
There's nobody there watching
some
it.
night watching.
I don't know if that's true.
Really? Then why is this guy there?
That's what I'm asking. I don't think
Well, okay,
that's what...
there's a shot at the end of this movie, and it seems like the Night Flier takes the form of this person.
Okay.
Because I have written, like, was that the Night Flier in the cemetery?
Fuck.
And I should have asked if that was the same actor and if that's what they were going for.
When's
But
that?
That makes perfect
It's
sense.
at the end. I think it's in the terminal, the airport terminal in Wilmington. There's a shot of, what's his face? The Night Flier, Dwight. And he has this long hair, and he has like a human form.
When he
Oh, I
turns
thought he had-
around, yeah.
I thought he had dark hair and he was Italian looking. That's
They
at the
both have
very end
long
of the
hair.
movie.
Maybe that's it.
I don't know.
That's why I wondered if this is the Night Flier at the cemetery. He's already on the D's.
He might be.
Well, he
But,
has all those magazines or newspapers in the plane, so he has been following him and studying him.
D's goes back to the. I can't say D's without thinking D's nuts.
I know. I have it wrote everywhere. These nuts.
So
These nuts roasting on an open fire.
he goes back to his motel. It's not a hotel. He has a nightmare, right? And then when he wakes up,
He sees the Night Flyer in that nightmare.
Yeah, and then when he wakes up, there's written in blood. It looks like on the window, just says "Stay away." We get this great speech as Dees is back in his as Dees is back in his plane, flying. He's talking into his recorder which he's a reporter, so that's fine. But that also reminds me of Twin Peaks with, oh my god, why can't you think? The main guy. Kyle MacLachlan's character. He's constantly talking into his
Can
recorder.
you give me who?
Kyle MacLachlan.
Kyle
Who's
MacLachlan.
that?
Twin Peaks.
I don't
Agent Cooper.
I've
He's
never
the
seen
guy
Twin Peaks.
from Showgirls.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen Showgirls. You queer. Oh, I can't.
What?
Excuse me? Not the queer part. You've never seen Showgirls?
No.
Why are you calling us that by watching Showgirls?
Yeah, I don't
I don't-
understand that.
It's not Chippendales. It's not.
I know,
It's not
but
male
like-
strippers.
Excuse me, if I want to see a tit in the movie, I'm not gonna watch 2 hours of drama and watch tits in it.
There's
I'm
no
gonna-
drama in this
There's no
movie at
drama.
all.
There's a lot of tits and.
It's just tits. It's
Yeah.
your movie. It's like
Is that
you
the one
made
with
this
Elizabeth
movie.
Barkley?
Yes.
I don't
yeah,
ever
but
want
it's
to watch
also
that.
got Gina Gershon in it. So.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, jeez.
I will.
So,
Now we've established that.
anyways, I'm calling him Albert here. He gives this unbelievable great
Fuck
speech
off.
that just reminded me of an Albert Rosenfeld speech in Twin Peaks. It was fantastic. Just bashing everybody. Everyone is stupid.
Bumfuck County, Maine.
Yep.
He
It's
hates
fantastic.
hillbillies.
So,
He is the best part of this movie.
oh god, yeah.
The effects are really good, but he is so good.
He goes to New York for the next, detective
Jack
work
Bro.
at the next murder scene. And
Vampires.
he
He
goes to
also
the
goes
morgue.
to Mortician.
He
And
goes to the morgue, and was this supposed to be Stephen King's cameo?
This was what he was talking about. This was going to be Stephen King's, yeah.
And we see this dead body. This is the first
Mm-hmm.
victim we saw.
And he's got a huge hole in his neck. Huge.
Yeah,
How
it looks,
As big as a railroad tie?
yeah, spike, not tie.
No,
Don't
not a
take it
tie. That
away.
would be huge.
I like where you're having
So, but we get the eyes flick open, and the mortician's just like, damn glue.
that. Yeah, I was like, what? Now that is a good little
Yeah.
jump scare. It's so subtle, and it makes sense. There's nothing supernatural about it. The fucking glue didn't hold, and his eyes popped wide open.
It was good.
So he calls his boss.
Well, we get another Stephen King line here, and I think this is directly from the story. He talks about how the fatties at the supermarket need these stories. Like, he can't
The
wait.
fatties
to
at the supermarket are going to love this.
Yeah, I love this shit.
I hope more people die.
Yep,
Is
yep.
that what he's saying?
Yeah, he comes.
I
and
hope he
then
kills more people.
We get. He's driving now.
Catherine versus D's nuts. The Night Flier story's on.
So he comes across this horrific accident scene along the road. For no reason this is in here, but I liked it.
There looked like there were bites on the neck, though.
Yeah,
was
there
that- I
were
was
bites
gonna-
on the neck.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if were we supposed
But he's
to.
touching the scene.
But he's taking pictures of all these bodies,
Mm-hmm.
and just it's showing just how I don't want to call him evil, but like just how
Tells a cop to fuck
Sick
off.
scoundrel
Yeah.
or like
Dirty, low.
yeah skeezy. He'll go to get the
Skeezy's a
story.
very good word.
But yeah, the cop is like, get the fuck out of here, and he let you text me at this scene where when he yells at the cop.
I don't know.
I'm a fucking reporter.
He's like, I'm a fucking reporter. You can't touch me. Like, what? You're touching all the bodies,
It's like,
man.
oh man, this is just an angry. But again, I love it.
Also, at this point, the boss gives Catherine the job. Tells her you won't find the answers in that electronic box of yours.
Yeah, more 90s computer.
That's when I
talk.
have Catherine versus D's nuts.
They didn't know. I don't think writers knew how to write internet yet and computers and stuff like that. This was just.
So they would literally say things like my dad says now, computer machine.
Well,
and
That's because they
internet
thought in
box
1999 they were going to explode.
Okay, this is also, and I'll bring it up again about one of the things I liked about this movie. This is the same time the X-Files is happening, the TV show, and this feels to me almost like a dark episode of the X-Files, except a dickhead Mulder.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is what Mulder would be if it was a film rather than Fox, and they have to, follow certain rules on television. But,
Scully's like, I don't know if there's really aliens out there. Mulder's like, fuck off, Scully.
That's right, you bitch. There's aliens.
that's pretty much it. But I really started liking this movie here, and it's because I'm seeing this detective work going on. He's driving these cars. He's dressed in a certain way, and I was just like, oh my god, this is the X-Files. And I enjoyed it.
He reminded me a little of James Woods from Videodrome here, too, because he's guy that's telling this girl that this girl died because she got too wrapped up in a story, and he's getting so wrapped up in this story, and he doesn't know what's real from fantasy.
I want to do Videodrome. We need to do
Is that
Videodrome.
Cronenberg?
I don't
Yes.
know.
We tried it once. Now we got Ben. Maybe we can get more than 8 minutes.
Well, I like what's the one Cronenberg that takes place?
Let's do
It's,
Scanners.
Cronenberg month. You know, this is stuff
They're all
that
big
we should talk
anniversaries.
about off the air.
Cut that out. No
Cut
one
it
gets
out.
to know the schedule.
More scenes with the locals, which again is a very X-Files thing.
Duffrey, Maryland. That's where we're at right now.
Oh, really? He left New York? Okay.
Yeah.
He goes to that hair salon. And this is the old couple that we saw get killed. And
We're getting a flashback.
Ray's said to look dead, and Ellen is young looking, and she's getting her hair dyed.
She didn't look young.
I know. She looked like a
Well-
62-year-old woman.
Yeah, her hair was brown instead of gray, but yeah, she looked exactly the same.
So she wants a perm though. She's dolling herself up for Dwight, I think.
Yeah, I didn't get it, but apparently he's very seductive.
Well, yeah, because they said that he was on their runway all day and the night before, and there was an FAA warning on the wall about him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
When they
Like,
found the body.
he goes and sees these people and puts them in a trance for like a day,
Yeah.
and they like start worshiping him, and then he fucking murders them.
Mm.
It's like Jim Jones.
So
That's
Dee's goes to the trailer, which is in a cornfield right next to the runway.
Say D's again.
D's.
Nuts.
So he breaks into the trailer that's taped off,
Mm.
and he does.
There's an old
does he
woman
find
sucked
anything
dry?
in the trailer?
No, everything's
When
been
he
cleaned out already.
When he comes out though,
There's a
there's
dog.
a dog on top of the trailer. It's a really cool
Can you
scene.
plug DMX?
What song by DMX?
Where my dogs at? Where my dogs at?
On the roof?
Yeah, that's what he says. It's not roof, it's roof.
Oh boy.
That's gangsta talk.
Sure, I got it. I'll find it.
I don't know what song it is.
So Dees snaps a photo of the dog and then takes off running. Gets to his car.
There's
looks
an old
back.
woman sucked dry. Why do we not talk about that?
Oh yeah, she's happy with that. She's all good with it.
Oh, that was the lady at the salon.
Yeah.
They found her in the bed and she was
Sucked dry.
with necks in her holes. Holes in her
Necks
neck.
in her holes.
Fuck off.
This is where Dees
I
looks
explained
back,
this once
and
ago.
it's as if the dog never was running after him. Is this the Night Flier? Is this Dwight, the dog?
I
Or
don't
is he
know. Are there
projecting
dogs in vampire mythology?
this? Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
The Watchers.
Fright Night, he turns into a werewolf.
Yeah, there's watchers. They
The
have
gay
They
guy.
have somebody watching over them during
What's
the day.
his name?
What?
You're so cool, Brewster.
I didn't do that.
What was
right.
that guy's name?
Evil Ed.
Evil Ed.
This is.
Wait, you left us for Pet Cemetery and Fright Night.
Mhm.
So the
This is my show. I leave when I want.
the editor finds out that Catherine is still working on the Night Flier story when she's supposed to be working on something else. So he gets this idea to pit them against each other.
Yep.
Her and Dees.
I think he already did that.
They end
a
up
long
at the
time
same
ago.
motel.
Yeah, and he does this weird maniacal laugh and screams.
I love
don't
my
know.
job.
It's like, what?
And it fades away like he's either evil or that something bad's gonna happen to him. You never see him again for the rest of the movie.
This is true.
Deez is at the tavern getting a drink.
Well, that's where I'd be if I was on the road.
And you know what happens?
Dees is off the clock.
Someone buys him a drink,
It's a Bloody Mary.
and it's gone.
Yeah,
They're
he
gone.
grabs the bartender and
What is
It's like
awesome?
fucking Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Now that we're making Dumb and Dumber references.
That'll be for next movie.
he's just like, he's screaming and swearing, dropping F-bombs, and it's like, dude, calm down.
Nobody saw who bought you the drink, man.
Basically, Dees is warned off once again to drop the investigation.
And he runs outside. This is ridiculous.
Fuck
the
you,
vampire
Dwight.
leaves. He runs outside, and the plane is already taken off. Where was it in relationship to the bar?
The tavern?
The tavern?
Yeah, where'd it
Yeah.
land?
We could just say
On
there's
Route
bars
66?
right next to the runway.
But he's like yelling at the plane.
Be like
Fuck
out here."
you, Dwight!
It landed on Route 6! 6!
Yeah, he's Is this where he runs into Kathleen? Calls her a bitch
Mhm.
and sexually harasses her a
Yep.
bit.
What's up, bitch? And he grabs her titty? Is that what happened?
Pretty much. I forget what he says. It was real creepy.
But now they're doing a work together montage.
Oh yeah, where they're calling. This is kind of funny.
They keep calling all the local airports trying to find where the Night Flyer
They're
might
calling
have been.
up and down the East Coast because this is where the Night Flyer operates. They're calling basically every small airport.
You know where it comes in.
Seem to be getting the runaround.
Where Craig Edwards is from.
They
Wilmington,
track.
North Carolina.
Yeah, they track Renfield down to Wilmington,
Our
North
special
Carolina.
guest speaker.
They call him or they call the guy at this place pretending to be the FDA and FAA. Why?
FAA. Food and Drug
I
Administration.
have FDA. Yeah.
They serve hot dogs.
God
too.
damn it, John. I'm
John's
hungry.
hot dogs.
I'm hungry all the time.
I like hot dogs.
So, they track him down. Dees tells Catherine, pack your shit, we're going to Wilmington. She packs real quick, comes running back in. We think maybe he took off without her. No, he's going to throw a blanket over her and try to lock her in the closet that is the easiest thing to break.
Now I've been asked to come up here, get you both out of the closet. Man, this is some crazy shit. Why won't you both just come out the closet? And they said, we're not coming out the closet, so you can just go away. But everyone wants you out the closet. That doesn't matter, cause we're gonna stay. Now I'm starting to get angry, so I pull out my gun. Oh! I'm gonna give you count to 3 to open this closet door. 1, I'm gonna shoot you both. 2, I'm gonna cap some bitch free. Now I'm in the closet. Now I'm in the closet too.
So
That feels good when you're on the same plug as me.
Catherine's in this closet that she could easily just break out of, but
Are you sure? Like, if you
it
do
looked
though,
like a heavier door, but she could break those.
in all fairness, you're gonna pay for that. That's a hotel. If
That's
you
your
break out of
concern
it,
at this point?
how much is a closet door? $60.
I think your editor's going to be paying for that. Bill him. Get the fuck out, man.
Yeah, man. You got to get that story.
No, he's not gonna.
She's too much of a pussy at this point. She wouldn't even pay the fucking mortician.
Which comes to my next point, how diabolical she became at the very end of this movie when she was stuffed in a closet.
She took Deeze's advice.
She had a character arc, but she was barely in the movie.
The character arc was like this.
She's not in the...
Whoa! Yeah, it didn't peak until 90 minutes and the movie ended at 92.
I'm like 99% sure she's not a character in the short story.
Okay.
That she was
thrown in.
She was thrown in so that Deeze had somebody to bounce off of rather than him by himself the whole time.
So he's flying to Wilmington, and
it's a thunderstorm happening.
There's a
How
bunch of
is
people
this
being
little
murdered.
plane, like, it doesn't even care that a storm and winds could be going on? You've been in a big plane before, right?
I've been in a small plane and a big plane. I've never been in one of these. Like, this is smaller than I've ever been in. But you feel bumps and the smaller the plane, the smaller the plane.
I can only imagine.
The harsher.
And you're on the ocean. There's probably winds blowing
I
in
assume
off the
he's.
coast.
I don't think he's out over the ocean. I think he's still on the East Coast. Wilmington's right on the coast, but
exactly.
You might be
winds
right.
blow off the ocean.
Still good though. So he's flying to Wilmington. He's in contact with Wilmington Tower.
People are getting slaughtered.
Yeah, you hear over the intercom like people just getting slaughtered.
Is Deez Nuts talking to the Night Flier yet?
Yes, he is.
He's like, what? Turn back now, or else.
Yeah. Unexpected voice from the vampire. I liked it. I didn't expect the vampire to sound like he did. But...
That reminds me of a South Park too. When they fight the demon, that they say shit too many times, and it is a curse word, and it brings a demon. Cartman gets it to go away, and as it's going down into the ground, it goes, "Oh, lame, man, really lame."
Deez lands the plane, and he finds the blacked out Cessna that the Night Flier flies around him. The vampire just fucking obliterates the. He Michael Myers the airport terminal.
There's 15 casualties just laying, strewn about, and
he also has newspapers with Deez on them in his airplane.
And pay attention in the airport if you can, because special guest guy Craig Edwards told us a few heads that they put in this airport. So
we'll let people listen to the interview.
Exactly.
So we're not gonna spoil
You'll hear.
it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I'm just gonna cut
There's
the
a
last
special treat.
minute and a half, I think.
So, he
starts taking
crucifix
pictures.
falls into an open wound.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what happened.
Nothing. It just fell in there.
I have gross.
He finds a photo.
Oh,
of
he pulls a necklace out of somebody's mouth, doesn't he?
It was a crucifix or a cross that he stuffed on there, because you can't have that.
But I can't remember the scene though. I just have it written down.
And that's when he starts taking a picture and like he can't do it. Like he's getting sick. So he runs to the bathroom.
Yeah, I have here. You're in a terminal full of dead people. You're worried about getting to the sink to throw up. Just throw up wherever.
Yeah, nobody's gonna.
I have the age-old question here. Is it finally answered? a vampire pisses blood, which
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
fantastic,
Yeah.
fantastic scene shot. Special effect.
We'll get there.
Fact.
Have you heard Deez is getting seduced? Oh, the vampire's like basically.
Don't follow him or he will swallow you whole.
He's warned off one last time.
He gets the film from inside the camera and shreds it.
Yes.
He says, "All right, I'll let you live because we both like to see dead people."
He's not wrong.
Yeah. But he just can't help himself, and he's yelling.
I want to see your face.
Yep.
Yeah. Show me.
Yeah. He then cranks it up to 110% when he's screaming to see the vampire's face.
Then it gets a little foggy.
I got
yeah, that's true.
a lot of fog machine being used.
He
but I
makes
love a
him.
good fog
He makes him
machine.
drink the blood out of his wrist. And
I
then-
don't think he. Yeah, he forces him.
Yeah,
but
he does.
There's no.
And then everything turns
Black and white?
Black and
Is
white.
this-
Yeah, and he grabs an axe because all the dead people start coming to life.
I love The Shining.
Yeah, a little bit.
And this was kind of weird. I was like, what's going on here? But
It was all to make it seem like
He killed everyone.
killed everyone with an axe.
well, I know that.
And so the cops just come in and blow him away. And Catherine's there, who takes advantage of the situation by...
The
Taking
Night
a
Flier
picture.
walks out.
He gets on his plane.
It's like, hey,
Catherine's
see you
like,
later.
I need a story.
These nuts, you murdered all these
She
people.
doesn't
You're
have
crazy.
proof really that there's a vampire out there killing people. So she's gonna blame Deez.
Yep.
Nuts.
And he just snapped on the job.
He got too wrapped up in his story.
I don't know why, though. Like, I know if you're a cop, you come in, you see lots of dead people and a guy with an axe. Your mind might immediately go there. But think about it. Is this guy going to trap every single person in
How
there?
could he kill 15 people with an axe when there's 15 people in there? Wouldn't
There's
they
plenty of ways
swarm him
out.
and,
Yeah.
like,
Or
if
people
there's
would have gotten
15
away.
against one with an axe, I feel like there are going to be no deaths. You all swarm him, he might get one swing and hurt somebody's arm,
Yeah.
but he's going to get overtaken by the mob and be dead.
You can't-
D-E-D, dead.
D-E-E-S.
Dead.
D.
All right.
These nuts.
We'll start with Cobra.
Why do you always start with me?
'Cause I
He
started with
fucking
Ben
always
last
starts
time.
with me.
I'll do Rocky
Cobra.
Cobra last.
No, I started first,
First.
with the previous movie.
Yeah,
Fine.
now it's your turn.
Fine. I give this movie a 6 out of 10. I think it's above average. The special effects were good in it. The story got a little slow in the middle, but it was fine. It was enough to hold your attention. The acting from Miguel Ferrer was so good in this movie. He plays like a tabloid male in
Steez.
the 90s. Probably perfect. Probably to a T.
Do we get many movies with male tabloid reporters?
No,
in the
but
90s?
with all the stuff that's come out in the past 6 months with like Harvey Weinstein and the way that women have been treated, and this has been going on for years.
What?
Great.
Just let him keep going.
Okay.
He just ended
Go.
it with great.
Women were mistreated
Okay.
in the
And
workplace.
Miguel Ferrara is a sleazebag in this
Oh, yeah.
movie.
Exactly.
Those two things. Like that.
Like that. 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
All right. I also gave it a 6 out of 10. I thought this was another one of those movies adapted from a Stephen King book that felt like Stephen King sounds when you read it. Like if you were to imagine what you were reading in your head, this is pretty accurate.
I think so, yeah.
So
I'm
Did you
definitely
ever read
gonna.
it?
No,
I'm
I've
definitely
never
gonna
read
read the. I
How do you
started,
know?
but then I started drinking a bit too much yesterday, and I had to watch a movie, and afterwards I didn't feel like finishing a short story. So, but I'm definitely gonna read this.
Miguel Ferrer is as good as Cobra said he was. The rest of the actors are. I don't really know about the vampire. That's kind of where I'm down on it a little bit.
He didn't do much.
He didn't do a whole lot.
Maybe they just didn't have the budget to show the vampire a whole
That
lot.
could be. And the actress, I don't know.
Phoebe Cates.
Yeah, the Phoebe Cates ripoff. She was okay. I think she was a little bit too timid. Maybe that's why she didn't get another job. I
Well,
don't
she
know,
was
but
young, up and coming.
she
She's
never
also
made
a
it.
female entering what
The
was
Harvey
probably
Weinstein.
traditionally
world.
a male-dominated industry.
That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
Oh, now I got it.
So,
But like he grabbed, if a dude grabbed a woman's arm like that he did in the bar, he would probably be fired today.
the
Yeah.
bouncer would probably jump on you. The bartender would probably scream at you, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah.
And she actually probably kick your ass.
No, I wouldn't go that.
Okay. Yeah, Cobra. I'm gonna rank it a 7.5 because I liked it.
7.5.
I enjoyed this movie a lot.
I think you just did that despite our last argument.
No, because I would totally rewatch this. I had a fun time. It's a movie that I don't think it's highly underrated. It never gets talked about as a Stephen King adaptation. I think it has a very, very small cult following,
Really?
but it's a small cult
Oh,
following.
yeah.
Or else it's just now getting some more recognition. I usually don't like 90s horror, but I thought it was great from start to finish. It really just, like I said, I saw those.
It wasn't dull.
I saw those, yeah, and which
It
one
got
of
a
you
little
said it got a
boring.
little, Cobra, you said it got a little slow in the middle? I didn't think so. I thought Miguel Ferrer, every time he's on the screen, it's just, it's a fun ride. I just kept waiting.
After him talking in the recorder.
Yeah, but he's just freaking insulting
After
everybody.
that, to getting to the airport in Wilmington, there were like 25 minutes of them like in the hotel and that scheme where they were trying to
I didn't think it was that.
contact
It
the
didn't feel that
airport.
long. But put it this way, this is way better than it should be. I'm sure the budget was
That's true.
extremely limited.
He had a certain amount of time. I think it was 30 days to get.
It was
this done.
under 30 days that
And
we
he got it
were
done
at that
early.
it was shot. And or that's what it was. He had 30 days. He brought it in one day under.
Yeah,
30
and
days.
for 29 days of work, that's an excellent job.
I didn't, and I wish I would have been able to ask or thought to ask the cemetery scene. That was probably the one scene that I wasn't too keen on with the like cutting himself so he could put blood on a tombstone. First of all, the idea of like I need a better picture for my paper.
If
but
you're right about that guy being the vampire,
Yeah,
then
there was
it
this-
makes sense.
I'm definitely gonna watch it again just to see that at the end because I swear you get a human form of Dwight and he looks like the guy
You
in the
don't see the
cemetery.
face, but you do see the hair.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
and that's the only reason you would put somebody with that like striking of a feature into the movie is that you need to remember
yeah, because
that.
it was a bizarre scene at the cemetery
Yeah.
where it's like, why is this guy out in the cemetery in the middle of the night? Like I said, it felt like a grimier version of it. It's a grimy X-Files episode, and Miguel Ferrer just plays this is kudos to Stephen King. Like this whole concept of this, instead of a vampire who turns into a bat and flies around, he needs an airplane
To fly around. That's what I thought was cool too.
And I like the concept that he's flying to these small airports that he's a lot less likely going to be caught, and it's they think it's a serial killer.
Although if this happened in today's 2018, this guy would be caught immediately.
Because we know how to use those computer boxes, and
there would be no more than 2 deaths.
But I thought it was really fun and underrated Stephen King adaptation. Glad that we got to watch it. So
Same.
I would definitely watch it again and recommend it.
It's on YouTube if you guys want to watch it. It's actually a pretty good version of it.
Or you could buy it.
You could buy it.
And maybe give some
money
royalties to
Craig Edwards. All right, if you want to get a hold of us, facebook.com/horrorcasting, horrorcastings@gmail.com. We're on Twitter @horrorcasting. We're on iTunes, Podbean, and YouTube. And now we're going to play our probably 15 to 20 minute interview with what is it, Ben?
Second assistant director
of this movie. That is Craig Edwards. So,
Riddle me! Oh, you did it.
Yeah, I got it. All right.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead and, if you want to tell everybody who you are and what you did on the Night Flier.
Absolutely. My name is Craig Edwards. I was the second assistant director on Stephen King's The Night Flier.
What does the second director... Assistant director... I'm sorry. What does the second assistant director do on set?
It can differ from film to film or show to show, but generally the first runs the set, the first AD. The second AD does all the scheduling and kind of makes the future days, kind of preps them and gets them ready. And then the second is kind of the second guy on set and sets background. I was actually tasked with what's called running first team, which is putting the actors through makeup, hair, and wardrobe and coordinating what's called base camp to get the actors ready and then send them to set.
And you want to go ahead?
Oh, hello, Ben here. What was, I guess, just some I don't want to call them generic questions, but Miguel Ferrer, like, I love him pretty much everything he's ever done. I noticed his character was very much like his character in Twin Peaks, and was that... I haven't read the short story, The Night Flier, so I don't know if he was that curmudgeonly in the short story, but was it on purpose, I guess? Did you try to...
Yeah, I think they very most definitely hired him for his ability to play that kind of a character. And yes, the character's name was Richard Dees, which is actually kind of funny because right around that time there was a guy who did a song called Disco Duck, and his name was Rick Dees. And I think King probably would have changed that name at some point had he had the opportunity. But Richard Dees is in the Dead Zone book. He's a reporter that shows up, and Johnny Smith kicks him out. And then he shows up again in this short story. And I think, yeah, he's definitely, I mean, as presented in the Dead Zone when he first appears, he's definitely, you could see Miguel playing the part and Christopher Walken kicking him out if that scene had been included in the movie. But Miguel himself, what I discovered over all my years in the business was the guys who play the guy you most want to punch in the throat on screen, always the nicest guys off set, and Miguel was no exception. He was amazing.
Oh, that's good to hear. I know he just passed away not that long ago.
Oh yeah, last year.
But
Right, Cobra.
Cobra here. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Cobra.
I'm gonna ask a question about the movie, because we couldn't understand what the dirt piles were left
vampire poop
in the after, like, under the plane and stuff. There were dirt piles and maggots. We were wondering what that was.
That was a nod to the thing, and I don't even know where it came from. I don't know if it's Bram Stoker's Dracula or other legends, but the thing about the vampire needing to sleep on Earth of their birthplace, and that was supposed to be some of his grave dirt, and he's sloppy, so it falls out, and of course it's got blood in it, and it does have the maggots and everything from where he drags the body back in there and drains it, and so it's that dirt's just filthy, and that's what that was supposed to be.
Okay.
That helps. I know the movie was supposed to be theatrically released. What happened to make it go to HBO?
You know, once we wrap on set, it goes completely out of our hands. Of course, this is Wilmington, North Carolina, where it was shot. The film was based out of New York, Laurel Productions, Richard Rubenstein, and then of course L.A. And I don't know why they made the deal. When we shot it, we were sure it was going to theaters, but we were a little shocked that HBO got a hold of it. They tried to have it run in theaters after it had already premiered on HBO, but there was at the time, anything that premiered on cable, it had kind of a stink of not being good enough for the theater, and that theatrical run didn't do well at all.
I don't know, I thought it had like the same kind of production value as like a Hollywood movie as compared to like a Tales from the Crypt or something. So
yeah.
I
have another question. I guess, how or why did you get into the film business? Was it...
I've loved movies since I was a little kid, and I actually went to college for it at Southern Illinois University. I have a degree in cinema and photography.
Okay.
When I got out, I had a friend who was finishing up a year behind me, and I went and just piled money working at a video store while he was finishing up. And he had vacationed in Wilmington, North Carolina, and he said, they make movies there. And I'm like, really? And we looked at it, and it was like, well, we could take our meager savings and go to Los Angeles and last for about 3 months, or we could go to Wilmington, North Carolina, and probably last for 6 months or a year, stretching it out, eating tuna out of a can. And it was a good thing we came here because I was literally down to coins in my pocket when I finally got my first job. But there was a lot of production happening here at the time. Dino De Laurentiis had started the studio in the mid-'80s. He had filmed Firestarter here, which was another King property. There's been a lot of King shot here. And after that, it went so well that he built the studios here. And then it had gone through his run. He had left in the late 80s. He went bankrupt and sold the studio to Carolco, which is the group behind Rambo. And they had it when I got here in 92. And they held on to it till the mid-'90s, and then they sold it to Screen Gems. And Screen Gems had it through the whole Dawson's Creek period. And Screen Gems has it still. And the last big thing that shot here was Iron Man 3, Piranha 3 Double D. We've got some fancy movies here.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so I came down here with my buddy and broke in doing extra work on a movie called Amos and Andrew with Nicolas Cage and Samuel L. Jackson, and went from that to Super Mario Brothers. And after that, I worked pretty steadily. And Night Flier was late summer '96 when we shot it.
You're still in the business? Are you?
I'm not, actually.
No?
Canada took everything away in the early 2000s, and I stepped away and moved into something else. I still have a toe in the business. I still have a lot of friends. If I see something shooting, I can drop by, and there will always be a familiar face that can get me in. Most recently, two things I visited were the Melissa McBride movie Tammy. I went to see my buddy Gary Cole, and Eastbound and Down shot here, and I dropped by. That wasn't really to see that set so much as just the people that were working on the show. But I ended up standing 20 feet from Danny McBride, watching him do his improv. It was amazing to watch.
That show was hilarious.
We were just talking about him this morning because we were talking about the new Halloween movie that's coming out this fall, and I was surprised he had something to do with it.
Wrote it. Just amazing.
Was King ever on set? I know sometimes he's on.
So as soon as I get the job, he's been in everything. He's always appeared in a cameo, and know he's coming. So I grab my hardcover, unexpurgated Stand, 1,800-page book, thick as an encyclopedia. I put it in my car, and I'm like, man, I'm getting that sucker signed. And it just so happened that at the time that we were shooting, and he was earmarked, by the way, to come in. If you guys remember the mortician that shows Miguel the body, and he discovers that it's that one big giant railroad spike fang. That coroner was supposed to be Stephen King. And what happened was he was in the midst of writing The Green Mile, which was coming out as a serial every month. They were releasing, a section of it. It was in 6 pieces. And weirdly, I don't think he had the whole thing written and then just released it. He was writing it at the time, so he literally could not break away from Maine to come down because he would have missed the deadline of releasing one of the parts of The Green Mile.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been excited if he would have been on set too, but...
When he had been in town for Maximum Overdrive, I think was the one, the costume guy that I worked with many times on many different shows said that his dressing room in the studio was piled floor to ceiling with books that people had brought in for him to sign. And every time he could break away from the set, he would just go sit in the dressing room and just work his way through this mountain of books, signing, love Stephen King, whatever he signs,
What are your 3 favorite horror movies? And do you prefer to do horror movies over comedies or dramas, or what's your favorite genre to do?
I'll answer the second question first. When the work that that I did and have done, the kind of movie doesn't really matter. I love all movies first off, so whether it was a comedy or a horror movie or anything, what I was doing was the same thing. You're saying, you go to makeup, you go to hair, you go get in your costume. Now they need you on set for a rehearsal. So, it doesn't really matter what's happening once they get onto the set. That said, the Night Flier is actually the only full-on horror movie I did. Now, I did a series called American Gothic for CBS. It starred Gary Cole, and that was supernatural and had some horror elements. But yeah, Night Flier was the only horror movie I worked on. Now, that said, it was, for a horror fan, it was a huge thing to be able to work on that film. We used, 150 gallons of blood. K&B was there. We had Howard Berger from K&B. Did all the designs for the creature, and he was on set the whole time doing the effects. And just to go into their trailer, you guys, of course, saw the sequence where all the bodies are in the airport.
Yeah.
And when they came in to do that, and I imagine K&B does this on every show, they have, just all of these things they've worked on over the years. So when they come in and they need to supply body parts, and specifically heads, they're heads from previous shows. So the Night Flier actually has cameos from some really big Hollywood stars. Nobody knows it. Pierce Brosnan's head's in there. Sarah Jessica Parker's head's in there. And those were from Mars Attacks, which they had not done too much previous to us. Drew Barrymore's head from Scream is in there. So all of these heads from, and you on set, they're slathered with blood, and you can't really, it's dark and everything. But out in their trailer, they'd go, there'd be this pile of of heads over on the side, and you're like, oh, what are these? And like, oh, we're gonna put those in the airport, and you start looking, and you're like, oh my God, I recognize 8 of the 10 heads sitting there. So pretty amazing.
That's cool.
You asked him.
And your top 3 horror movies.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, top 3. I'm old school. I got started. My mom took me to see Halloween, 1978. So Halloween. I'm going to say The Evil Dead, and pick something. Scream. Those are 3 of my tops, but ask me again in 5 minutes, and I can give you a few more. So.
Do you have anything else, Ben?
I guess what was maybe your favorite moment or experience working in the industry?
Oh, golly. I got one embarrassing story I could tell about Empire Records, and if you guys ever saw that one about the record store.
I used to watch it all the time.
You're so sexy, Rexy. Oh, it's so good.
Well, I'm in it, by the way. If you guys go back to check it out, I'm the guy that nearly faints in the autograph line.
I remember your character, actually.
That was a little bit we did on the last day of shooting. The director, I heard they said we're going to beef up the line. We're going to shoot a few more shots, bring in some extras, and get some more shots of the line. And I ran and put this silly outfit on and went to the director and said, can I be in the line? And he was like, oh, yeah, you can. So that's where that all came about from. And what was great was the actor, Maxwell Caulfield, who played Rex Manning. Wonderful guy. Loved him. But I played several kind of little pranks on him throughout the show, and I think it's marvelous that he had left. He'd wrapped and gone. So it was only when he saw the film months later that when he comes out and greets the crowd, the very next shot is me, the guy who was marshalling him through makeup, hair, and wardrobe for 3 months. So I hope he got a nice little moment out of that. But that actually wasn't it. The one, and I think you guys will enjoy this, Liv Tyler wore that little plaid skirt, kind of schoolgirl-looking outfit.
I remember.
And we were shooting downtown, one of our 7 endings that we shot, of which 6 ended up in some form in the film. And it was going to be a shot of them all in front of the sign up on the roof of the building. And this was actually one that I don't think there's any part of it really in the film. But we were literally downtown, really downtown. We had a fake one built on stage later, but so we're downtown shooting this thing, and it's really up on top of this building, and they're going to rope them in. They're going to rig them into this sign and everything with leather straps and everything so that the actors can't fall. So we get up there, and she's in costume, and they've rehearsed, and we break up, and she's got some time to go to her trailer. But she says, no, I'm going to stay on set. So some time passes, and then just out of nowhere, she walks up to me. Not a question Liv has ever asked me through the whole run of the show. She goes, Craig, where are the cameras going to be for this shot? And I said, well, all right, there is one directly across on that crane thing you see over there, and there's one over this way. And then I said, and then there's one, and I pointed down towards the street. And I said, there's one down there that's going to be shooting up. She grabbed my shoulder, and she said, I didn't wear my underwear. I'm like, are you serious? And she's like, Craig, I can't do this shot without my underwear. Okay. So I now have to run, and they're like, we're 2 minutes to shooting, and I'm like, oh my God. So I have to run blocks back to base camp and get her damn panties out of her trailer. So on the way back to set, I'm like, she is not going to do this to me without paying for it. So as I got to the set and started up the scaffolding stairs to get to the top of the building that they built on the outside, I held those panties up over my head, and when I got up onto the roof, I bellowed, Liv, I've got your panties right here. And she very embarrassedly took them over to the side and slipped them on. But I think that may be my very favorite moment in all my time in the film industry.
That's amazing.
For the Night Flier, just to kind of answer that question more tied to what we were really talking about when we got started here. One of my favorite moments was late in the shooting. Miguel, we were doing the airport stuff. Now, part of that was shot at the real airport here. There's not very much of it, and then they built an airport set, which is where all the bloodshed and everything happened when he has the scene in black and white where he takes out all of the vampires. And, of course, he gets completely coated in blood. Well, we were shooting that over the course of the last probably 4 or 5 days of the shoot, except for the very final part at the airport, which is the last day of shooting. And Miguel was covered in this blood, and he was putting the same clothes on for matching continuity. And about day 3, he put them on, and I said, it's time to get ready. And he would sit like in a robe in the trailer because he didn't want to wear these sticky clothes until it was time to shoot. So I would give him like a 10-minute warning to get ready. So I knock on the front. I go, they need you in about 10 minutes. He's like, all right, I'll get into these clothes. So he starts putting them on, and I don't even hardly get the door shut. And he goes, oh, shit. And I'm like, oh, and I'm sorry, I shouldn't have cussed. But I go back and open the door and go, what's wrong? And he had put on the pants, and they had stiffened up so much that when he pulled his leg through them, the pants cracked open. And so they had dried, because that stuff's syrup. It's Karo syrup, and it had dried into rock candy, I guess. So he busted his leg right through them. So they had to go get one of the matching outfits and then re-blood him for that run, and then he wore those, for the rest of it every time he put them on.
So, I guess a question about the ending. Maybe I'm just thinking too much into it. I mean, was there really a vampire, or did his character snap, and was he really like a serial killer? Because he had access.
The vampire was there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was geared to that he picks up the axe in that scene, and then the police come in and find him holding the axe and the bodies and everything, and all of that was designed by Dwight to trap him. Really, Dwight gave him the opportunity to walk away.
Yeah.
And when he didn't, he said he had to know. Now he's already laid the trap, and it's gonna go down the way that he wants. And then on top of that, kind of the gravy on that meat of trap is, Catherine then sells it right on into the police so that she can become the star reporter.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, there definitely was a vampire. And by the way, that the thing where he's peeing blood into the urinal and you can't see him in the mirror.
Yes.
That effect was boggling how cool it was, because that was not like an optical. That was live happening. They had that urinal rigged up to look like the water, the blood was being peed into it, even though it was, coming from inside of it, which was how they do that stuff sometimes just boggles me. Right.
Yeah, compared to the CGI today. Ugh.
Yeah, that was, we had none of that back then. I think the closest we would have had, and they didn't end up doing any of it, was his transformation just as he's getting on the plane at the very end of the movie. They had talked about doing a morph, but they decided to do it instead with a series of shots. And actually we ran out of time shooting the last day. Dawn was coming, the sun was coming up, and Michael Moss, who played Dwight, was very upset because there was supposed to be more to that scene, not really dialogue or anything, but it was just supposed to run longer, and there was supposed to be more time to show him turning back into the human-looking version. And as you saw in the film, it's just a split second because they only managed to get like 2 or 3 of the shots that they wanted to do.
Thank you for coming on.
Yes, thank you for your time.
Oh, absolutely, guys. I had a great time doing it. And please let me ask you guys one question. Did you enjoy watching the movie? Is it going to be a good review?
I think so.
It's going to be above average.
Yeah.
I was actually pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest 90s horror fan, but I was really surprised with the Night Flier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can understand everything you're saying there about not being a big fan of it and everything. I think that this one works, in my opinion, because it takes itself seriously, so it doesn't go down the Scream route of trying to be self-referential or anything. Dead serious. And then Miguel just carried. He picks the movie.
Yeah,
great. Yeah,
definitely.
Just carried.
And the effects are good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, it's A and B. How can you go wrong? Those guys are absolute masters at what they do.
Yeah, the first scene where the I guess air traffic controller goes out onto the runway, and when he turns around and he gets his face slashed, those effects across the face, I immediately was like, oh, okay, like I'm impressed, I'm into this. It looked painful.
Yeah.
They looked good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get with Stephen King. You could get Graveyard Shift, you never know.
Mangler,
Yeah.
Born, not some of the better ones, and then you go all the way up to Oscar winners like Misery. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now I think this would rank as a highly underrated Stephen King adaptation.
I honestly hadn't heard of it. Had you?
I'd heard of it, but I had never seen it, and so I was happy when you said we were going to watch it.
I thought it was the dark half when you first told me the Night Flier, and I was like,
no. No, thank you again for your time, and it was a lot of fun talking to you.
Guys, have a great rest of your day.
You too.
You too.
Thank you.